Yet.
There we go.
Okay, now we are. Hello, hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever time you are hooking into this. So,
Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. Whether you're here with us live or recorded, thanks. I'm
we're
Linnea
both.
March, or both.
I'm Liora Braun. We are both
Okay.
course leaders with Zoetic Workshops.
Yep.
Um, and Linnea and I were having a conversation this morning. It was an amazing conversation, actually. It was everything from personal sharing to world politics.
Yeah.
Times when you just hang out with your best
Yeah.
buds and conversations go all over Tarnation.
And you solve all the
So,
world's problems. If they would
reminiscing
only
about
listen
high
to us,
school
Liora.
demographic, huh?
If they would
Right?
only listen to us.
Right. Or as I say, if everybody would only do exactly what I tell them to do, their lives would turn out perfectly. That
Hello.
is a joke, by the way, for anybody who doesn't get that as a joke. That's a joke. All right. So there was actually, even in the personal storytelling, as we talked about demographics in our high schools, it was an interesting commentary on global population.
Yep.
And yeah, so Linnea, do you want to kick this off, or you want me to do this?
You kick it off.
I'm kicking it off. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm looking at some of this. Um, so my head just went to this different direction. It's kind of like um, where my head just went was like the killings of black men in our and
Mhm.
women in our country. That's where I just went.
Okay.
Like Dante Wright in a couple years ago, or um, obviously like George Floyd, or um, what was that guy in Rochester? Al Jazeera.
Yeah.
Um,
Tyree Nichols.
Tyree Nichols, George
More recently,
Floyd, of
Memphis.
course, right? Breonna Taylor, like that. I mean, we could just keep going, but um, the conversation we were in was it started with how there are whole populations of people where there's an elitism within its own population of mine is the right way of being, whatever, fill in the blank. So um, I'll just stay in the black community right now. There's a whole snobbery in black America of if you were born here, came from slaves, or if you are newly minted from Nigeria versus Kenya versus I don't know, wherever, Burkina Faso or whatever it is. So or Uganda. It's like there's a hierarchy. And whew, I don't, we didn't start off with it getting that kind of drilled down, but actually in a way we did. So we talked about it in terms of the Jewish population, where we've got Orthodox, Reconstructionist, conservative, and Reform, and then there are different pieces inside all of that. I mean, just Orthodox alone, you've got all kinds of things, Chabad and um, Lubavitch and Hasidic and modern Orthodox and traditional Orthodox, and it's all over the map. And you can do this with each one of these segments of our population, our being people, human, our populations. And there is really the concept that in reality, we really are all just one people with one heart, all of us. And it's where Linnea's and my conversation started on that track, actually had to do with the earthquakes, the back-to-back earthquakes, 7.8 and 7.5 on the Richter scale that happened in the Turkey-Syria area, impacting so many innocent people. And there are a lot of people still buried in the rubble, and it's cold, and what it's going to take to dig people out and save lives when there are already thousands of lives gone, and the medical care and the food and water and blankets and relocation in a way that's safe and has a future to go with anyway. And so the donations the thing that was striking about that for me was the funds that are coming in from all over the world, and the offerings from all sectors around the globe. I mean, you've got Ukraine that's in the middle of a war being batted on by Russia for no good reason that we could actually think of. Okay, that they're offering aid, and Russia's also offering aid, and Israel is offering aid, and the United States is offering aid, and Australia and Poland and Canada and places in South America. And it's like China, I don't know if they are or not, but the reality is it's just coming in from everywhere when there's this devastation happening. And it brought me to other things where there's a galvanizing of us as a human people, as opposed to a Black people or a white people or a Muslim people or a Christian or a Jewish or a Hindu or a Muslim or I already think said Muslim, whatever, or Native American or whatever, Rosicrucian, whatever, or no religion or agnostic or atheist. I mean, the list goes on and on. Or if somebody's tall or short or fat or thin or has money or doesn't have enough money or has more education or has less education, and the infinite ways that we seem to come up with in prejudicing our own selves, like one against the other. And yet when we have moments of crisis like this, it's like a wake-up call. We have this wake up. We really are one people. We are one human population. Yep. And it is really with one heart. We are one people with one heart. And so it brings to mind, if we can be one people with one heart, when the earth goes slamming into us, or if you want to do this from a religious point of view, because I know there are people in the world going, this is God, this is God's hand, punishing us for whatever, fill in the blank. But maybe it is God's hand, but instead of punishing us, maybe it's just, God going, I'm looking at my table, wake up, up. This is who you really are. When 9/11 happened, as devastated as New York was, people were so nice to each other. Amazingly so. Generous, kind, looking each other in the eye as they were passing on the sidewalks. It turned into an entirely different city. It was amazing. So we were looking at what would it be like for us to have it not just in times of crisis, but also in times of celebration. What if this is just how we are? What if who we are is one people, just one people with one heart? Mm-hmm. And what if we avoided slipping into the prejudices that separate us from our own selves? That has us be angry at each other, that has us be fearful of each other, whether it's in our families or our workplaces or our whole communities and cultures. What if the default line wasn't that anger and that fear, which is really just swooping into the lowest common denominator as soon as that's an available option, but rather that we go to where we actually personally experience that kind of breathing room. With all of the killings of the Black people, and just taking the United States and the more recent history piece of this, nobody asked, what kind of Black are you? We did ask, what community do you live in? And, who was that? We want to know, who was that person as a person? Not just a name, Breonna Taylor, not just a name, George Floyd, but who is the person? But nobody actually really cares. That wasn't the point of the prejudicial murderings of these people. The point was the color of their skin. And what if these long lists of what it is that has us get angry at each other, and we do this in our families, we do this between friends, we do it in the workplace, goodness knows we do it in politics, but locally, nationally, internationally. A spy balloon from China goes over the entire width of the continental USA. Holy smoke. Including over what they call, this would be a quote from news sources, sensitive military sites, end quote. What if the default mode wasn't to the lowest common denominator? What if the default mode were the highest common denominator? What if you and I individually did the best we could, that when that fear kicked in, this historical, habitual, go-to crazy making, because we get crazy when we feel like that. What if that were just like a beat, and we had a mindfulness about bringing ourselves instead to, oh, that's right, who I am is a loving being. How can I manifest that? How can I provide that? How can I cultivate that, both in myself and in others? This is really amazing. I belong to a business networking group. I want you to hear this, that it was a business networking group. And there was a question that was posed to us for us to write an answer to. We had 2 minutes to write. And the prompt was, when I am love in my business, and then you write, when I am love in my business, and then you write whatever you wrote. And the president of the group asked us for sharing, and she shared, and other people shared, and then there was a lull, and I raised my hand, and I read what I did. After which, people were like, wow, that's beautiful. I want to copy of that, which is funny, but this is the business of Zoetic. So when I am love in my business, I take responsibility for both where I have failed and where I have succeeded, enabling me to humbly be of service more than I was the day before. I do the work for myself and help others when they are overwhelmed, even when it means doing, quote unquote, their job. I let people know that I love them without any expectations of anything in return. They are known and loved exactly as they are and exactly as they are not. I empower others to take on more through training of being more. It's about being love, creating an ever-expanding presence of love, individually, in family, community, and the world. And all of that happened this morning before Linnea and I had our conversation. What if our days were just filled with that? Then what miracles would occur? I had a few of those this morning, so miracles, I mean. Linnea, I'm punting to you. I think I've talked enough.
I was when you were talking, there were things that were coming up for me, and one of them was looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. So I've been accused of that. Like I have been accused of, you think everybody's so great, you think everybody is wonderful, and um, which I do. So somewhere, even the ones that don't act that way, somewhere there's this wonderful human being. But and I would hear, you look through the world through rose-colored glasses, and I'm like, hey, what if we all had rose-colored glasses, all of us, and we looked at each other through this like beautiful um, filter that's not a filter,
Right.
like the non-filter. It's just like, what if we could all see each other's hearts and each other's kindness and softness and beauty? Um, what if, like, wow, I wonder, like we did on 9/11 when everybody was so kind and everybody calling out to your friends and relatives you haven't talked to in forever. And are you okay? And, just like wanting to comfort each other. So, and now with our brothers and sisters in Turkey and Syria, when I say our brothers and sisters in Turkey and Syria, I really mean it. That's our family. Those are our aunts and uncles and our mothers and fathers and our children. Those are our children. That's our family. And when we pull away from that and we pace ourselves so far away from that reality, which is a reality, then, that's when things don't work. It just doesn't work. Like we put in the subtitle of our talk today, like, why can't we all just play in the sandbox together? I mean, it's so much fun to be together and have all these different people and different ideas. It's, that's what it's all about. I think that's what if God is over there saying, wake up, you know, look at what you have. It's a miracle. All of us here on this planet. So
We
it's a
were
very great way to
talking about
talk.
some point in the Jewish people, and the prejudice that lie within the people themselves, and I should say ourselves. I'm Jewish, but years ago I had the privilege of getting to co-chair a particular community project that was an enormous community project. One of the things that I said, I wrote a piece that got published, and one of the things I said is that, in the hall, my grandfather was taken to a concentration camp, and he did survive. That's a whole other story, but one of the things that I learned from him is that in the barracks, nobody asked, what kind of Jew are you? That when, it's a number of years ago, but these 3 boys really were kidnapped out of Israel, and nobody knew where they were. There's a real search for them for a long time. Their bodies were returned. They had all 3 been murdered. And when they came back, nobody asked, what kind of Jews are these boys? Are they Orthodox? Are they conservative? Are they Reform? Are they Reconstructionists? Nobody cared. Nobody asked. Nobody cared. That when I have a really dear friend of mine whose mother recently passed, actually just a few weeks ago, and this family, a large part of the family, I am a Reform Jew, are people who practice Judaism from an Orthodox point of view, and not one of them said to me, you don't belong here. Okay. And I didn't look at them like, oh, you're foreign territory. It was just family. So the point is really, if we can come together over times of grief or times of fear, times of crisis.
Mhm.
There's nothing stopping us from coming together in times of celebration, of times of peace,
Yeah.
times of harmony, and actively creating that, generating that. In some mentalities, it would be causing that into existence. It's very easy to go to that lowest common denominator when things are on the downside of life, basically. It's easy if somebody's had a tragedy to feel like, oh, there's compassion. We are automatically compassionate beings. It actually takes more energy to go, ugh, that's them over there. That's not me over here.
Right.
We really much more automatically go to, that could be me. Who knows? There's a fault line really close enough to any of us, I think, that none of us is safe from the back-to-back earthquakes, 7.8 and 7.5, and all of the aftershocks that came from those two earthquakes that the people in Turkey and Syria just endured, and it's a mess. But the thing that's amazing is all of the different peoples, countries, organizations, agencies, donations, everything that's just pouring in for medical and clothing and whatever. That's who we are. So, what would it take for you, the person wearing the clothes that cover the body that you inhabit, that you? What would it take for you to be that as daily life? As in moment to moment, being that kind of aware and that kind of conscious and, frankly, that kind of love. Bringing back to it's Laura DeFranco who posed the question. Bless her. She's a writer and a
She's
publicist.
amazing. Yeah.
She's an amazing human being. She really is. You got your business. I got my business. Everybody's got their own business, and it's the business of family and the business of community and the business of volunteerism and the business of churches and mosques and temples and synagogues. It's the business of corporations and the business of governments. When I am love in my business, then what? So when you are love in your business, what happens? Okay, Billy's got a comment here. I'm not sure what it is about enormous personal tragedy that makes it easier for me to let go of this / that / the other, the constructs I use to keep myself separate. Oh, okay. And remember who I really am. That might be a why question. So I'm more interested in how I be my true self all the time. And so I dip into the training, for example, Bridges. We have a seminar. It's a 9-session seminar called Bridges to Freedom. I meditate several times a day. I do the work to remember those 9 bridges that are in that seminar. Yeah. There's, how do you do that? You do that, it's going to take a little bit of work, but once you do it often enough, that isn't really work. It just becomes at least practice and sometimes habit. I floss my teeth every day.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I went through years of having an internal conversation of, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? Maybe I'll let it go today. Ugh, I don't feel like flossing. Okay. I don't know about anybody else out there, but for some reason, flossing loomed like this really big conversation in my head.
I think it does for a lot of people.
So it did for me. I'm in that
Our dentist.
And at some point, I don't know. It's like I went through a period where I would start to step out of the shower, and I was like, oh wait, that's right. I didn't floss. Like it had become enough of what I did as a physical pattern that my body remembered that hadn't happened. And I would get back in the shower. Sometimes it meant turning the water back on because I like to. I'm a little. I guess a little prissy. I don't like doing it outside the shower because the stuff that comes out from between the teeth, where does that go? A lot of times it goes on the mirror if you're doing it at the sink. I dated a guy for literally like a half a minute because he would walk around doing it. And I'm like, and then you walk around barefooted, and I walk around barefooted. So now I have to walk with my bare feet on the stuff that just came out from between your teeth. That's disgusting. So,
Oh, that mind of yours. I wonder about that mind of yours.
so I floss in the shower because, hey, it comes out, but it goes right down the drain. It's already clean. I don't have to do anything about that. Okay.
Bill says, TMI.
TMI. Anyway, about the guy or me. In any case, so the thing is, it became something that I just do. I don't even think about it anymore. It is just part of what I do. And I think that, really, this is answering you, Bill. Like, how do you do this? That how do you get to be that who you are is one people with one heart? That is the essence of who you are, and then that's just how you live your life. It's who you are. I don't. Linnea is laughing like that mind of mine, right? But I'm not trying to be some other person. You just get to be who you are, and who you are is one people with one heart. The practices are in place. I really do meditate every single day. Most mornings I get in 2 meditations. Occasionally it's 1. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I do a meditation in the wee hours of the morning that is earth healing. The earth around me is quiet. At that point is quiet. It's on the opposite side of the globe. It's pretty active, but where I am at 1:30 or 2 or 3 in the morning, it's quiet. That's when the earth there's not a lot of interfering energy going on. So earth healing that I send from my end of the earth through the whole earth for all parts of the earth. When I'm tired in the middle of the afternoon, it could be 5 or 10 minutes, and sometimes it's a 20 or 30-minute meditation, but it's at least always 5 or 10. I will stop and I will meditate. I don't try to power through it anymore. I've powered through an awful lot in my life. And I find that I actually get more done, and I have more energy, and my body feels perkier, and I'm bouncier, and everything about all of this is just altogether more joyous and more harmonious. And what comes from that is actually living life flowing as the flow. It's who you are, it's who I am. In the flow, we are one people with one heart. As the flow itself, even that disappears. And the closest I could say would be one is. And it would stop there. Yeah, that mind of mine, from flossing to one is. So it's the practices. The how is the practices. Practice the practice, practice the practice, practice the practice, practice the practice. It's not any different than flossing your teeth. Even if that conversation lasted for the rest of my life in my head, which thankfully it doesn't anymore, but that's what's there until it just becomes part of what you do or what I do. I don't know if that helps, Bill, but that's the answer. Practice the practice. Notice when I have an angry or fear-filled reaction. Thumbs up from Bill.
Yeah, it strikes me that the reaction of that automatic fear or pushing away reaction is not as powerful as your heart, as your love. It's not. And when you are coming from love in your work and in your play and with people all around you, for even the person at the grocery store that helps you find the can of beans you've been looking for 15 minutes, just when you come from love, just try it. You would be, it's astonishing to me how people that I don't know from Adam and having a 2-minute conversation and getting hugs and, getting like all these wonderful words like, I really like you or I love you. I just tell people I love them. Liora and I have this habit. Oh, I love you, and people are either like, oh, okay, or they're like shocked. So, and it comes back. It comes back so strong. It's, it's like the Beatles said it, all we need is love.
All we need is love. Do,
Love.
do, do, do,
Da,
do.
da, da,
And
da,
Bill
da.
said, so if I'm something other than happy in the moment, what there is to engage in is what do I need to do to restore myself? I don't know, Bill, because I don't agree. It's not always happy. I mean,
Yeah.
happy is one element of it. Sometimes it's peace, sometimes it's joy, sometimes it's contentment, sometimes it's amazing quiet, sometimes it's tranquility, sometimes it's healing, sometimes it's just breathing and stillness. I mean, I could keep going. You get the point. It's not just happy. I mean, happy's in there. Happy's one part of it.
Yeah. It could also be, uh,
Linnea, you were breaking up. I'm so sorry.
you just went dark for a minute.
Huh?
Your
That's
screen went
interesting.
completely black, but then it came back.
Well, what did you just say? Because
I don't
that
know.
broke up on my end.
I said it could
Oh,
be,
it's
it
quiet
could be
again. Hang it.
contemplated. What?
Right.
Okay. You back? Technology loves me.
Technology is my friend.
Yes.
We are one techno people with
Yeah.
one cyber heart.
Wow. We just keep
All right,
rolling
it is
with it.
12.
I guess somebody's giving us a message like, okay, move on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's 12, well, now it's 12:41. We need to oh, I just saw this little note. Never,
Excuse me.
we always say, like, how is it we don't hear the comments from everybody? Because we don't. But it says some destinations won't get comments. Learn more. Ooh, we need to learn more.
Hmm.
So for anybody who's making comments that we're not addressing,
Bill says there's no, sorry. Bill says there's no interruptions showing up on Facebook. Just
oh,
FYI.
well, that's good.
I just, yeah. So yay. It's
Okay.
just us.
We're,
It's too much to handle. Like I can't handle two of you at once.
I was going to say, we're blowing up the airwaves here. All right.
Yeah. Hey,
All right. Do you want to lead meditation this time?
I can do it. Yep, I can do
Okay.
it. All right.
Cool
So
beans.
let's meditate. All right. So get yourselves comfy. Please support your body completely. Your back, your neck, if you especially if it's sensitive. Um, take your glasses off. Let yourself just sink into the surface that's holding you up. If you're lying down, if you're sitting in a chair, just let yourself melt right into that surface. It will so support you. Great. Lower those shoulders. They're a little tensed from going through your morning already. Just relax those shoulders down. Good. And just let this wave of softness and comfort just kind of travel from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. Relax your belly. If you hold tension there, your legs, your knees. Good. Just completely let go of your body. Don't cross anything. You can hold your hands any way you wish. Just don't cross anything at all. Nice. All right. So take in a breath through your nose and just feel the air just coming into your lungs. Breathe all the way down to the very bottom of your lungs. Hold it there for a moment. It's so nourishing and lovely. And then gently breathe it out through your mouth. Again, breathe in through your nose. Only this time, breathe in through the crown chakra, through the top of your head, above the top of your head. Breathe in white light, pure white light, breathing it into your body. Again, breathe all the way down to the very bottom of your lungs and hold it there for a moment and let it swirl around all through your body. It feels so comforting, feels so good. And then open your mouth and let it out, share it out into the world. That comfort and softness, healing. And then breathe in again. This time, breathe in from all around you. White light is everywhere. So breathe it in, hold it into your lungs, and put anything into the light that is not of the light for you, or discomfort or dis-ease. Place that into the light. And when you breathe it out this time, it will be carried into the very center of the earth to be transmuted at the core. And then breathe out. Let it go. Let it all out. Nice. Okay, then relax. Your body feels so good, comforted, healed, or healing. And just relax and breathe easily. Nice. Okay, now, in this relaxed state, have your conscious drop down into your heart, in your heart chakra. Feel the warmth, whether it's physical or however you perceive, coming from that part of your body, your heart chakra, your heart. And start to know, and let your heart tell you that this power, this amazing power of the heart, amazing power of your love, stands above anything else that could come up. Any fear in your day, any disagreements, any issues, anything that happens, that your heart, your love, is the most powerful tool that you have. Love is who you are. Breathe that in. Love is who you are. Just gently breathe that in and breathe it out. That's a never-ending cycle, just like your breath. It's a circle. There's no beginning and there is no end to your breath. It's breathing in and breathing out. And there's no end to the love, the power of love that you have. It's a never-ending circle. What would it be like if you looked through the filter of that heart, that loving heart of yours, to everyone even that person, even that person that maybe makes you a little crazy, or you have something going on with them and it's unsettling. Whoever that person is, imagine now looking at them through the filter of your heart, through the love that you have, that is you. I wonder, what would it be like for you and this person going forward? If we look at others through the filter of a non filter, there's no filter to your heart. It's pure, it's 2020 vision, it's as clear as a clear day in the middle of summer. It's a pure place that you have, it belongs to you. So if all we can see through our loving heart is beauty, wonder, and we can see others' hearts as well. I wonder, what would that be like? What would that be like for you to be that kind of love every single day? Love is who you are. The specialness that you have is your capacity to love and to love the way you love. No one on the planet, no one has what you have to offer. Be generous. Be generous with your heart. There's so many people that long to have you touch them that way. Touch them with your love, with your heart. It could be a smile. It could be a glance. Love is who you are. Breathe that in again. Love is who you are. And gently breathe that out into the world. Love is who you are. You are loved. So take a nice deep breath in through your nose and start feeling your body where you are sitting or lying down. And breathe out. Feel the air around you, the air that's in you. Is it cool? Is it warm? Breathe in again, this time bringing yourself fully into your body and into the room where you are. Nice. And when you are ready, open your eyes and come back. When you are ready, open your eyes and come back fully into your body and into the room where you are right now. Welcome back.
That was amazing. I have no idea what you did. That was amazing.
Good, I'm glad.
I heard the first bell. You did it twice, didn't you?
Mm,
Did you do the bell twice?
Yeah, I did it
Yeah.
twice. I did it twice.
I didn't want to come back. So I need that second one. Thank you.
Way.
Wow. Yeah, I feel much quieter. And Billy says, got a nice, yummy one chakra feeling going on. Thanks.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
Is that what you
I'm
did? Did you do
glad.
the one chakra meditation?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
just talked.
Nice. I
I
can't
just
wait to
talked.
hear it.
Yeah, that's the way I feel most of the time. I got to go back and listen to that. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Oh, so blessings, love to everybody, our brothers and sisters going through any kind of trauma, especially now Turkey, Syria, Ukraine,
Donate. Please
so many
consider
places.
donating. Be sure that the
Mhm. Red
generosity of you
Cross.
donating goes to an organization where all of the money goes there and not just part of it. So really just be aware of that. And there is no such thing as too small of a donation, people. $1, $5, everything helps.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
And lots of love to all those first responders, people that are boots on the ground out there doing this work.
Nice.
Oh, thank
Love
you.
to them, gratitude to them, and really support them, and may they maintain their own health and well-being. Wherever they come from, however
Yeah.
large or small they are, whatever their nationality, whatever the color of their
Mhm.
skin, whatever their religion or lack thereof, whether they
Exactly.
are man or they are woman, it matters not at all. We are one people. So I bow to you and I thank you for being my brother and my sister,
Yes.
my mother and my father, my child. Thank you.
Yep. Love you all so much.
Have an amazing week.
Yes. See you next week.